So many of us have been affected by heart disease, my wife and me included. My why goes back to my grandfather, who passed away of a heart attack when I was just 16 years old. His influence in my life taught me that we needed to serve others and is a big reason not only why I started 898 Marketing, but why my wife and I proudly stand here as the co-chairs for this year's Heart Ball.
And in my why, my family's been affected by heart disease as well. My grandmother had hypertension when she was in her 20s and suffered a heart attack in her 60s. And as a healthcare provider, one of the major causes of disability and death is cardiovascular disease. And it's important that we make an impact on those numbers.
Personally, I've been affected by heart disease because I was born with a congenital heart defect, and I've also lost loved ones along the way. Aside from the research and education that the Heart Association provides, it has given me much more than a way to give back. It's given me a support system through different stages of my life since being the heart child in '97.
I'm Dr. Nancy Landgraf, and the reason that I support the American Heart Association is because my passion is to treat patients that are recovering from stroke. And for those survivors, stroke is the leading cause of disability in the United States, and for those survivors, the guidelines and the research that's produced by the American Heart Association leads my practice and helps me to do the best I can for my patients.
My name's Todd Finn, and I've been personally affected by heart disease. I had a grandfather who ended up having a total of 5 open heart surgeries in his life. Then, of course, through my personal friendship with Nick McGagan and getting to know the entire family and hearing the story of Champ McGagan, who was once a heart baby and went through a long-term battle with heart disease. It's brought me closer to the organization, and I wanted to be involved because not only have I personally suffered from the effects of heart disease in my family, had friends that have suffered the effects of it in theirs, but I've met and come into contact with a lot of people throughout the course of my life that have been affected by heart disease.
My why is my mom, Mary Ferry. Since the age of 30, my mom has had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, but it has always been active. On July 26, 2019, my mom survived a quadruple bypass. It all started with a stress test, then a CT scan, and a heart cath, which revealed 4 blocked arteries, and with one being at 90%. An hour after surgery and in recovery, she experienced ventricular fibrillation, which resulted in a heart attack and cardiac arrest. The heart team brought her back. I believe my mom is with us today because of her strong determination to survive and due to cardiovascular research from the American Heart Association. If it wasn't for the money raised during events such as the Heart Ball and the Heart Walk, there would be no research. And without research, there would be no survivors. Thank you.
My why for supporting the American Heart Association 2020 Heart Ball is the fact of the matter is that many people part of my family have been impacted with heart disease. 3 of my uncles and my mother-in-law have all had open heart surgery, and my 2.5-year-old son Leo was diagnosed a day after he was born with a rare congenital heart condition called tetralogy of Fallot. And at that point, it dawns on you the amount of research and development that's gone into heart care is the reason why he's here with us now today and going to go on to live a very normal, happy, and fruitful life. Your commitment today will create new survival stories. Survival stories of people fighting just like we did. Survival stories where children continue to have their mom and dad. Stories where parents can watch their children grow up happy and healthy. At this time, I'd like to ask that you all join us tonight and open your hearts to support the mission work of the American Heart Association.